From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your evening update.
You want to go where to buy a new refrigerator? Steve's A to Z Appliance in Cottonwood? In Cottonwood? Just a 10-minute drive. And they'll save us money. New and used, honest, reliable, factory-trained repair service and parts, and they'll save us money. And dispose of this thing? We gotta make the short drive to Steve's A to Z. Thanks, son.
Steve's A to Z Appliance, front and main streets in Cottonwood. Drive a little, save a lot.
Well, good evening, everyone. I'm meteorologist Mike Kruger. You know, we're going to be taking a look at our quickcast here. Now, basically what we've got here is rain and snow for tonight and off and on chances for showers as we take you into the next couple of days. So let's start with what we expect here for tonight. Now, temperatures, again, on the cool side, but it will be overcast. So maybe not as cool as it was, say, last night, for example. So temperatures in the low to mid 40s. We've got those 30s, even some 40s for some of the higher elevations. And for the coast, we're looking at those temperatures dropping down somewhere in the low to mid 40s. All right, so let's get you out the door tomorrow morning. Now, it will be a little wet in some spots. In fact, we take a look at what it looks like, and yeah, everyone's got the chance for showers through really the day tomorrow. Now, I do anticipate the heaviest rainfall to be this evening and tonight for a majority of Northern California. What we see tomorrow will be isolated off and on showers, but nothing terribly heavy. And snow levels on average are going to be about 4,500 feet, give or take. So you can see how cool it is, especially in the higher elevations. So 36 degrees for Trinity County, for example, the North Coast in the mid 40s and mid 40s also in the valley. So let's take a look at futurecast for tonight and through tomorrow. So by 10 o'clock tonight, you can see the bulk of the rain and snow is off to the east. And we're even seeing some snow in some of those higher elevations. Cedar Pass, Bogard Ranger Station, maybe even around Fredonia Summit, getting close to it for Susanville. But you can see the bulk of the rain is now mainly east of the valley. West of that, not really seeing much activity here. Now, as we go into tomorrow morning, this is what we're looking at here. Now, when we look at it, it doesn't look all that impressive. And that's really the case here, because the main system has pretty much passed at this point. Well, we're just dealing with the cold and unstable air that's in place. And that's enough to drive a few showers, especially out towards the coast. You can see it's not very wet for tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. for the valley and really even off to the east. But then as we go into the noon hour, you can kind of see this activity kind of pushes eastward. We could see a passing sprinkle, a light shower for parts of the valley by the noon hour, maybe a snow flurry or two for some of the higher elevations up to the north. We've got a few showers off to the west. But again, you'll notice, number one, not very widespread. Number two, not very heavy. Then we go into about 5 o'clock tomorrow evening. This is about the time the kids are getting ready to do some trick-or-treating. Now notice what we've got here. In the mountains is where we have the best chance for showers and even some snow flurries. But here's the deal. I mean, it's not very heavy. So there's a very good chance that even if the kids are trick-or-treating in the mountains, the main thing they'll be dealing with is cold temperatures and maybe a passing sprinkle here and there. The valley looking fairly dry, but we can't entirely rule out a passing sprinkle for Thursday evening. That would be Halloween evening. And then, of course, we've got more coming in on Friday with the next system that will bring us more impressive rainfall late in the day Friday into early Saturday, which we'll get into that in your deeper dive forecast here in a second. But here's your forecast for your Thursday. Temperatures struggling to get out of the 50s. We're talking upper 50s to low 60s in the valley, 40s for most of the higher elevations, although in Trinity County, low 50s, mid to upper 50s for the inland areas, and mid to upper 50s along the coast. I think the best chance for rain will be on the coast and off to the north and west. Otherwise, just a few isolated showers and snow flurries, say above 4,500 feet, and really not much in the way of rain for your Thursday. All right, so let's take a look at your 7-day outlook, and we'll start off with the valley. Off and on chances for showers, very isolated for your Halloween. Better chances for showers coming in Friday. Now that may linger into Saturday morning, and I'm beginning to see more confidence and more alignment with the longer range forecast models indicating that we've got a better chance, looks like, especially for Saturday morning. Then Saturday afternoon should be dry. Then we're dry for Sunday all the way through Wednesday of next week. All right, we take a look at the coast. inland, and Trinity County, same situation here. Off and on chances through Saturday morning. It's dry by the second half of the weekend and going into next week. Siskiyou, Modoc, and the Eastern Mountains, off and on chances through Saturday morning. Temperatures are warming up slightly, especially as we go into early next week. All right, that's your quick cast, or at least as quick as we could get it. Let's take a look at your trick-or-treat forecast for the North State, and we'll start off with the Valley. Now, we've got the clouds out there, but overall, not a lot of rain. I think that for the most part, the kids, even in the Valley, will be dealing with cool temperatures, but really not a lot of rain. Don't be surprised if you see a stray sprinkle here and there for everyone, really. That's the case for Siskiyou, Modoc, the East Mountains. Again, the better chances for any passing sprinkles will be on the coast and in the mountains, but even then, it'll be few and far between and really won't amount to much. So that's the case for the North Coast, inland, and of course Trinity County as well. So overall, not a bad trick-or-treat forecast. You'll just be dealing with those cooler temperatures. So cool and unsettled through Saturday with a winter weather advisory east of the Valley, dry and warmer the weekend into next week with most likely dry conditions through all of next week. All right, so let's take a look at the winds, because the winds will be picking up with these passing storm systems. So on Thursday, Halloween Day, you see some pretty strong winds along the coast, up to the north, east, even the Valley is seeing some gusty winds as well. Now as we go into Friday, we have another system passing through. Look at this. Friday morning, we've got gusts 20, close to 40 miles per hour for the coast. We've got some gusty winds here, central Siskiyou County. Not so bad elsewhere, but that will probably pick up as that system kind of pushes to the south and east. So by 5 p.m. Friday, gusty winds for the Valley, mountains to the east, up to the north, central Siskiyou County. Winds not as strong because the system's now east of the coast, so the wind's not as strong there for Friday. So the winds are something we're going to have to factor into the forecast and think about here. But I'm not concerned about fire danger because look at Thursday. Look at the humidity, 40 to even over 50%. I mean, it's still showing semi-dry conditions, but at least we're not in the single digits, teens, or even 20s. So we don't have to worry about the humidity being so low that the winds are going to generate these strong winds and, of course, giving us the high fire danger. That's not the case. So that is certainly some good news coming out of this. But the winds, just think about that with your Halloween decorations. All right, so let's take a forecast here through tonight. You see as we shift to the east here by 10 o'clock tonight, again, you saw that most of the snow and rain is off to the east of the Valley, but still some showers for parts of the Valley, not as wet to the west of that. So this is where I'm most concerned if you're traveling tonight. Okay, so Cedar Pass, mainly above 5,000 feet. So Bogard Ranger Station, you might run into some problems. Maybe around Fredonia Summit, near Susanville, you could run into some problems there. So bottom line, if you're traveling tonight, just check the latest road conditions before heading out because there may be some issues there. Now, here we are on Halloween Day. Now, the forecast models begin going back and forth on the overall intensity of the rain. Here's what I'm going to say about Thursday's rain, Halloween Day's rain. The system itself that we're dealing with here is today and into tonight. That's the main cold front. Behind it is just cold and unstable air. We don't actually have an actual storm moving through on Thursday. So what we have is cold and unstable air. What that does for us is give us kind of that mixture of sun, clouds, and a few scattered showers here and there. So we start off Thursday morning with a few snow flurries in Trinity County, Siskiyou County, Del Norte, and Humboldt counties, with a few of those showers as well, those lower elevations. And again, you're going to have to go above, say, 4,500, 5,000 feet before you start seeing any accumulating snow. And even that will be light, okay? But otherwise, it's fairly dry early morning for the Valley and even off to the east. Not much going on, really. Now, we take you into Thursday. This is Halloween Day at noon. You see how we're starting to see kind of a little bit more widespread, scattered, isolated showers, a few snow flurries here and there, but nothing major. That's what we've got going on. Even the Valley could see some of that. Now, by the time we get into 5 p.m., you see how it's just a sprinkle here and there, especially in the mountains, even along the coast. But look at the Valley. It's fairly dry. So again, this is about the time a lot of the kids are starting to trick or treat. We go into about 10 o'clock on Thursday. Fairly dry for the Valley. In fact, maybe even a bit of clearing. But now we have the next storm, the next disturbance that's going to be pushing through Thursday night into Friday. Let's take a look at that. Here you can see it's kind of pushing on through. We go into Friday morning, 6 a.m. Bulk of the activity is to the north and west. We are seeing a few sprinkles for parts of the valley for Friday morning, and maybe a few snow flurries to the north and east of that. Then we can see the next system right here, right here. See, this is noon on Friday, still fairly dry, maybe even a bit of clearing for Friday around noon, but heavier rainfall on the coast. That pushes east. Now we have heavier rainfall in the valley by 5 p.m. on Friday. We're getting on the back edge of this. So as we go into Friday at about 10 p.m., heaviest snow is off to the east. We're seeing rain down still parts of the valley. And look at this, more activity coming in from the west. So this is why we expect some of the activity to linger into Saturday morning. Then by Saturday afternoon, I think most of it will be done with. So forecast rainfall totals through tomorrow, 5 p.m., upwards of a little over 1/10 of an inch of rainfall. Not a lot of rain for the valley. Most of it's off to the west. No big surprises there, right? Now, for now through Friday, 10 p.m., you're looking at upwards of over 1/4 of an inch. Not quite a 1/2 inch, though. 3,700ths in Redding, 3,500ths in Red Bluff, 4/10 out in Chico. Look at this. Upwards of an inch to even 2 inches of rain out for parts of the coast. No big surprises. That's because the storm systems are coming from northwest, moving to the south and east. They tend to die out as they hit the valley, and then we see a little bit less even off to the east, places like Alturas and Susanville. Now, let's take a look at the road conditions. This is going to take you out at least through Thursday night, but I want to show you here that as we go into tomorrow morning, 6 a.m., so tonight through tomorrow morning, I think places like Scott Mountain could at least see some snowflakes accumulate briefly on the road. Lassen Park, right, especially as you go above 5,000 feet. Bogard Ranger Station, about 5,600 feet there, could see some snow on Highway 44. Out towards Cedar Pass, I mean, you're over 6,000 feet there. It is not out of the question for tomorrow morning for you to see some of those snow flurries and maybe even some chain requirements. So this is where I'm most concerned about. East of the valley here, above 5,000 feet, there could be the potential for some chain requirements for some of those mountain passes. Also on Scott Mountain on Highway 3, that's basically around the Trinity County, Siskiyou County line, okay? But otherwise, I-5 looks clear, and unless I haven't labeled any other mountain passes that could be impacted, although maybe some a little bit closer to Susanville. But you get the idea, that's what we have to look out for. Now, it looks like it kind of fizzles out a little bit here, but still, Scott Mountain, Cedar Pass, Lassen Park. It looks like Bogard Ranger Station is kind of cleared out at that point as we go into the noon hour on Thursday. All right, so let's take a look at your forecast snow totals. Through 5 p.m., look at Alturas. I mean, Alturas could, at the very least, see a dusting of snow, but maybe upwards of 1 to 2 inches. And then we go into Friday night, you see the pinks there? That's over 1 foot of snow. Mount Shasta, the mountain. Lassen Peak, we're seeing that. Some of the Marbles and Trinity Alps, seeing some of that heavier snow too. And, of course, the Warner Mountains. Chester, I think you could also see a dusting of snow. But those are, elevations of 4,000 to 4,500 feet. You head down to like Bernie, Mount Shasta, Shingletown, central Shingletown, about 3,500 feet, okay? But maybe around Viola, sure, maybe a dusting of snow there as well. So that's what we're looking at with snow. Not a lot, but it could impact some of your mountain travel, especially east of I-5. So there's a look at Thursday. You see how it's not a lot of rain and snow, including this model that was a lot more aggressive just a few days ago. It's the next system coming in on Friday that's going to be just more rain, more snow. That lingers into Saturday. Remember, this is the same forecast model that up until this point has kept us dry on Saturday. Now it's getting more in alignment with the European forecast model and continuing that chance for showers, snow flurries in the higher elevations on Saturday. Saturday afternoon, Sunday, it dries out, but the winds, look at this. See those white lines? See how they're tightly packed and close together? Strong north winds coming in on Sunday. Monday, Tuesday, look at this. Actually, a weak system may just clip Northern California on Tuesday, giving some of us maybe a chance for showers. But I'm going to keep most of next week dry and warmer. And as you can see here, as we go into Thursday of next week, we're going to set ourselves up for another wind event. We could be looking at some stronger winds. And with these strong north winds, that may dry things out and that could elevate the fire weather risk, believe it or not. Hey, listen, we talk about the fire season through October. Sometimes it can go into November as well. We've got to get some really good soaking rains before we can really start saying, hey, we're done with the fire season. So as we take a look at the extended outlook, once we get past this weekend, once we get past Saturday, we're in the drier than normal category through next week. And on top of that, not only are we seeing those cooler temperatures, but it's beginning to warm up a little bit here. We're getting closer to warmer to right around normal for this time of the year when we're talking about our temperatures. In fact, we take a look at that 10-day trend, staying below normal, quite cool as a matter of fact, for the next couple of days. Upper 60s to around 70 Monday, Tuesday, but then low 70s for Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then another dip going into that next weekend. But you can see it does get a little bit warmer, so we're closer to normal as we go through at least, especially the middle and latter part of next week. Look at the wave heights. They're really increasing for Thursday. This is through Thursday, 6 p.m. They're fairly high. Not only small craft advisory, we're talking about probably some gale warnings out there as well. And that'll probably extend on into your Friday as well. So just be aware of that if you do need to be on a small boat. All right, so for tonight, let's kind of wrap things up here. Temperatures should be in the mid-40s, give or take, for the valley, 20s and 30s for the higher elevations, and we're talking mid-40s on average for the north coast, or at least the coastal areas. We take a look at what we can expect here for Trinity County. We take a look at your forecast for tomorrow. There you can see, of course, we talked about the timing of the rain and snow coming in, so we're not going to talk about that in much detail. But it's through Saturday we got that chance for off and on showers. Tomorrow, temperatures only in the low to mid-50s for your daytime highs. For southern Humboldt County, we take out to Blue Lake with about 54 tomorrow, 55 degrees for Alder Point, and 57 degrees in Ferndale. Out towards Del Norte, northern Humboldt, temperatures in the mid to upper 50s there, 56 for Orleans, and 59 degrees in Willow Creek. Your Siskiyou County neighborhood forecast, your temperatures should be in the low to mid 40s, about 42 degrees for Weed, 49 for Gazelle, 47 out in Etna, and Dunsmuir about 46. All right, let's take you out to the Modoc County neighborhood forecast. Temperatures in the upper 30s, low 40s, Cedarville about 39, and 42 degrees in El Turris. There's your Eastern Mountains neighborhood forecast. Look at Viola, pretty cold, only getting up to about 38. 46 out in Westwood, Greenville about 50, and Paradise topping out at about 52. Here's your Valley neighborhood forecast brought to you by our friends at Walgamuth Painting. The temperature is in the low 60s, 62 degrees for Corning as well as Hamilton City, 64 though in Willows and Elk Creek, about 62. Up north, about 59 degrees for Redding, 53 in Whiskeytown. I think some of us in the valley may struggle to get out of the 50s, if at all. But otherwise, right around 60, give or take, for that daytime high tomorrow. Let's take a look at your 7-day outlook for Redding. So, here we go. Isolated showers, but nothing heavy is expected for your Thanksgiving Day. The main storm system after the one moving through tonight will be Friday. So I do expect some heavier rainfall, especially Friday evening, Friday night. That will linger into Saturday with a chance for continued showers, especially for the first half of the day on Saturday. By Saturday afternoon, Sunday, it dries out, and it starts to warm up going into next week with highs in the upper 60s to around 70. By the way, if it's not your phone or anything or any clock attached to the internet, you'll need to remember to set those clocks back 1 hour, either Saturday night before you go to bed or Sunday morning when you wake up. That is your evening forecast. I'll have more tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. and live on Coffee with Kruger at 7 a.m. We'll see you then.
Barr & Mudford is a top established firm here in the North State. Founded over a half-century ago, Barr & Mudford is protecting the rights of our neighbors and community. We take our commitment to our clients very seriously and provide a level of excellence unrivaled in the North State. Barr & Mudford, standing up for the rights of our neighbors and our beautiful community, serving Northern California with excellence.